Assalamu alaikum ji, hope you are doing good. This is Usman Abid and you are watching my YouTube channel. In the last lecture we did the section 8 and 9 of Specific Relief Act 1877. They were about the recovery of possession of immovable property. Today we'll do section 10 and 11 of the same act. They are related to recovery of possession of movable property. So let's start with the sections 10. Section 10, its heading is recovery of specific movable property. So first we determine that what is meaning by specific movable property. Specific movable property means any property which is movable and which can be ascertained, which can be identified, that would be considered as specific movable property. But the money, the rupees, they won't fall, though they are movable properties, but they won't be considered as specific movable property because the notes cannot be identified or ascertained. But here one thing, that the ancient coins, the old coins, because they have market value, they are very valuable, so they can be considered, they are considered as specific movable property. Next thing we see what section 10 states. It states that a person entitled to the possession of specific movable property may recover the same in the manner prescribed by the Code of Civil Procedure. So this is the same like definition which is given in section 8. The only difference is there was the word immovable property, but here is movable property. That's the only difference so far. So that means that any person entitled to, a person entitled to means who is the owner of the movable property, who has the title of the movable property, he can file a suit to recover that movable property. And the procedure which would be adopted, that would be regular procedure provided in this in the CPC for the proceedings of civil suit. So first thing is here is that the person who wants to recover the possession of any movable property according to the definition so far, he must be the owner of the property or he does have the title over the property. I'll give you an example of this one. See, if a person dies, he leaves a car and he got 3 sons, so all 3 sons can file a suit for recovery of possession of that car because they are through inheritance, they do have a right to acquire the possession of that car. But there are 2 explanations are given after this definition that further expands this word a person entitled to. So let's see what the explanation 1 says. It states that a trustee means any person who is entrusted with any property, expressly or impliedly, but that person must be entrusted with the property. A trustee may sue under this section for the possession of property to the beneficial interest in which the person for whom he is trustee is entitled. I'll give you an example of this one to explain this explanation. It says that not only the owner but the trustee of the property can also file a suit for recovery if he has any beneficial interest in that particular specific movable property. For instance, I do have a car and my friend is very poor and I gave him my car for example for 1 year, and I ask him to use this car as a cab. What my friend does, he does an agreement with the company for 1 year, but after 6 months if I forcefully takes car back from him, that my friend who is trustee of my car, he can file a suit against me though I am the owner of that car, even then he can file a suit against me because he does have a beneficial interest in that movable property. He had a contract for 1 year and I am taking back from after 6 months, so he does have beneficial interest in that car. Though he is a trustee, even then he can file a suit against me for recovery of that car. So first, this explanation 1 further expands this section and states that not only the owner, any person, even if he is a trustee, he can file a suit. It is not compulsory that only the owner of the suit can file a suit for recovery of movable property. Explanation 2 further expands it and it states that a special or temporary right to the present possession of the property is sufficient to support a suit under this section. Any person, that means any person, even though he is not the owner of that movable property, but he does have any kind of special right or temporary right, he can also file a suit. It is not compulsory that the only owner shall file a suit for recovery. The example of this particular explanation 2 is given in the illustration E. It says that a warehouse keeper is charged with the delivery of certain goods to Z. A, who is for instance, A is in charge of a warehouse. He does have goods there. He does have their possession of those goods, being in charge of that warehouse, and those properties are supposed to give to Z, who has bought them. But what happens? Is charged with the delivery of certain goods to Z, which B takes out of possession of A, which B takes out of A's possession. A may sue B for goods. Here what happens, he does have the possession of certain goods. They were supposed to go to Z, but what happens, the B takes possession of those goods which were supposed to go to Z. Here A, though he is not the owner of that goods, but he can file a suit against B to recover the possession of those goods, meaning thereby that any person, here the warehouse keeper is in temporary possession of those goods, or he does have, being the warehouse keeper, he does have a special right to possess those goods. So that means explanation A and B clearly states that any person, he is the owner, he is not the owner, he is trustee of the of movable property. He does have any right, any special or any temporary right to the possession of that movable property, and if somebody else takes away takes the possession of that goods or movable property, he can file a suit under section 10 for the recovery of that movable property. The limitation to file suit under section 10 for the recovery of movable property is 3 years. The next thing which is very important regarding this section 10 is that if anybody files a suit for the recovery of immovable property under section 10 of Specific Relief Act, it is not compulsory that the court shall give him the same particular specific movable property. The court can award alternate remedy as well. If we see section order 20 rule 10, it states decree for delivery of movable property. This is the heading of order 20 rule 10. It states that where the suit is for movable property and the decree is for the delivery of such property, the decree shall also state the amount of money to be paid as an alternative if the delivery cannot be had. So that means that under section 10 it is not compulsory that the same specific movable property shall be given to you. Alternate remedy can also be given to you. I'll give you an example. This one, I've already said that a person dies and he leaves a car, and there are 3 sons. Anybody can file a suit for recovery of that car, but it is not possible that all 3 are gonna get the possession of that car. So any one of them can get the car, and the rest of them, he can pay the rest of the brothers, rest of the sons, the amount. So under section 10, the alternate remedy can also be provided. So this is all about section 10. Now see section 11. This is absolutely different from section 10. This is about recovery of movable property, but the situation, the scenarios which are given, they are absolutely different. It says the liability of person in possession not as owner to deliver person entitled to immediate possession. What are the liabilities of the person who is not the owner but he does have in possession of any movable property? What are his liabilities? This is the heading of this section. The section 11 states any person having the possession or control over of a particular article of movable property of which he is not the owner. The person who has control over any movable property but he is not the owner may be compelled specifically to deliver it to the person entitled to its immediate possession in any of the following cases. If any person does have a movable property but he is not the owner, and the owner files a suit for recovery of possession under section 11 of Specific Relief Act under this section, so court shall compel him to give him the same thing to the owner. That is what meaning by section 11. But here are 4 different scenarios are given. If the case fall within any of these scenarios, then you can file a suit under section 11. What are those situations? So the first situation is when the thing claimed is held by the defendant as the agent or trustee of the claimer. So the person who is having the possession of the property is the agent or the trustee, then the court can compel him to give the possession to the real owner. Example of this one is that if A is going abroad and B is his agent or trustee, and he gives him furniture of his house in his custody and goes abroad, but B, without asking A, pledges that furniture to C, and C advertise that one for sale. So here A can file a suit under section 11 against C for the recovery of possession of movable property. So this is the first scenario. The second scenario is when the compensation in money would not afford the claimant adequate relief for the loss of the thing claimed. So second thing is that when compensation is not enough, you want your original thing back. In that scenario, you can file a suit under section 11. The example of this one is given that Z has got possession of an idol belonging to A's family. Z is agent of A, and he does have possession of an idol and both or a picture of A's family, and of which A is the proper custodian. Z may be compelled to deliver the idol to A. So if A files a suit under section 11 under this section, court can compel him to give the possession of the same idol, same book, same picture to A, because the compensation is not enough. The feelings of his family is attached with that idol, with that picture. So in that scenario, the same thing can be claimed, and court shall compel the person who is having the possession to return the same, to give the possession of the same thing. Third scenario is when it would be extremely difficult to ascertain the actual damage caused by its loss. The example of this one is given that A is entitled to a picture by a dead painter and a pair of rare Chinese vases. B has possession of them. The articles are too special of a character to bear an ascertain market value. B may be compelled to deliver them to A. A has there are some pictures of a dead painter and they are very expensive. The market value of those pictures cannot be determined. In that situation, a suit can be filed under section 11 for recovery of same pictures, because the market value cannot be ascertained. So court would say give the possession of the same pictures to the real owner. The last scenario is that when the possession of the thing claimed has been wrongly transferred from the claimant. If the possession is wrongfully transferred from one person to the other person, so the real owner can file a suit under section 11 for the recovery of same movable property. So this is all about section 10 and 11, but there are some differences under section 10 and 11. Number one, under section 10, the suit can be filed against the real owner, because I've already explained that the trustee, if he does have any beneficial interest, he can file a suit against the real owner. But in section 11, no suit can be filed against the real owner. It is the real owner or the person who is entitled to the possession, only he can file a suit under section 11. So this is the major difference. Number two, in section 10, instead of giving the specific movable property, the compensation or alternative remedy can also be provided. But in section 11, the court issued a decree for the possession of that specific movable property claimed for. The third one is that section 10 provides us general relief, and section 11 gives us 4 different scenarios. If the case falls within one of those scenarios, in that case, in that situation, if the case falls in any one situation of given those 4, then you can file a suit for recovery of immovable property under section 11. So this is all about section 10 and 11, recovery of movable property. I hope I have explained all the aspects of section 10 and 11. Thank you very much. Take care. Allah.